Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 60 Football Academy and 60 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling.
Welcome to 0 to 60. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. I'm Matt McChesney. Bailey's on the ones and the twos. We have a lot to talk about here today on the show, so let's get going and talk about it. Welcome.
Let's get going. It's going to be a great show here on this fine and beautiful Wednesday. And this show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for betting. Whether it's you're a first-time gambler or you're a veteran gambler, BetOnline is your number one place for all things online gambling. BetOnline you cover with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here and we roll. Matt, how you doing on this fine and beautiful Wednesday?
Good, man. You know, middle of the week. Let's bang this out. I know there's a lot to talk about, so things are good, bro. You know.
Absolutely. And, NFL, teams are, getting their offseason workout program started. Obviously, rookie minicamp is underway and finished for a lot of teams here. Teams are starting up more mandatory workouts as we get closer to the season, Matt. But let's talk some Colorado Buffaloes recruiting here. As the thumbnail says, Coach Prime, master recruiter. And Colorado lands another massive offensive line transfer here, Matt, as Colorado lands Maryland offensive line transfer Andre Royer Jr., 6'6", 295, started 7 games at left tackles for Maryland in his career, and he's got 2 years of eligibility left. Matt, what are your thoughts on this pickup here for the Buffs?
Look, another big offensive lineman. We're not going to sit here and act like that's a bad thing. It seems like they're stacking recruits. I mean, that's good. So there's only 5 spots, though. So we'll see what happens with all these cats as they go, into the summer months and into the fall. So not being here for the spring, we'll see if that has anything to do with who plays and who doesn't. Seems like they got a lot of offensive linemen.
Yeah, if anything, depth is the way I look at it, Matt, because I don't know Roy Jr. if he's going to start. I don't know how it's going to be really interesting to see how all these pieces really lay out here. But if anything, Matt, it's depth indeed, and I think a big get for Colorado here. Matt, one thing I really talked about yesterday with Coach Leroy Frederick, coach at Alcorn State. Colorado, and you mentioned this point a few weeks ago, Colorado got no excuse not to run the ball with all the size and depth they're bringing in on the offensive line room. The running back room is great as it is, and Marshall Falk is that run game coordinator, Andre Gerard, George Hageman, and Gunnar White as the O-line coaches. Matt, I think CU is poised, and I ain't got no choice but run the ball this season. I'm looking forward to it.
They better run the goddamn ball. I'm tired of them not running the football, so they can get away with it when they have Shedeur and Travis.
Yeah, they can get away with it.
They got to do it now. It's. I think it's a must. So they need to be at least relatively balanced football team.
No,
at some point they've got to really commit to it. So, I mean, we'll see. That doesn't mean they have to. I guess they don't have to do anything, but I think it would behoove the quarterbacks and the system and everyone involved if they ran the shit out of the football, yes.
No, absolutely. And I think, as we talk about the quarterback battle here, here's several quarterback battles across college football highlighted by Kaidon Salter versus Julian Lewis right in the middle there, Matt. I think having a run game, no matter who starts at quarterback, is going to take the pressure off of these two quarterbacks here, Matt. And I think the more as we see this offseason go, we'll really see as we get in the fall ball here and the season gets closer. But I think it's Kaidon Salter's job to lose here. And, I think Julian Lewis is an absolute hell of a player. We're really seeing him, make his ways here, so to speak, from the recruiting standpoint, hosting several recruits, I believe, including Brecken Deacon over the weekend when they visited here, and really making an impact here, helping bring future Colorado Buffaloes to Boulder here, Matt. Any comments on the quarterback system and how the run game can help improve the quarterback play in Boulder?
I mean, I would hope that a good running game will help improve everybody's play, but definitely a run-first quarterback and a rookie, I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. So, again, I'm very eager to see if they're going to and how they're going to support the new guys. So the new guys are not Shedeur. I don't know if they have the same ability to just take over a game, and just go out there and do their own thing in order to get a dub. I don't know if that's real because I haven't seen them play yet. So yeah, I would waver towards them being more apt to be, helped by a quality run game. At least I would hope. Fuck, man. And again, if they don't run the football, it's a choice.
I have a question for you, Matt. In the recruiting game, if Colorado this season comes out and runs the ball and we really see some variation, we see Colorado leaning into the run game. From a recruiting standpoint, what do you think the impact of that is going into the future classes of 26, 27, and beyond?
What was that again?
So I'm saying if Colorado leans into the run game this season like we expect them to, and as we've discussed with all the size they've brought in, how do you think Colorado actually having a run game and the recruits seeing that, how do you think that'll impact recruiting going on to the future classes 26, 27, et cetera, if they see Colorado having a run game, leaning into it, and et cetera?
Well, we'll put it like this. The fact that they don't run the ball isn't helping them in recruiting.
Fair, yeah.
So, I mean, let's be real. The fact that they're not running the football consistently is not helping them get Brecken Deacon and all these other big-time players that want to go somewhere where they can run the football. That's not helping. I mean, I'm not trying to tell everybody stuff that they don't already know, I think, but Breck and Deacon look good in their uniforms at the OV and everything's hunky-dory, but we're talking about trying to bag both of these kids and get them to play for CU. I don't know if that is feasible unless you prove that you're not just for a week or not just for 3 games. You have to commit to the future of it and the future of running the football in Boulder in order for serious recruitable offensive linemen to go to your school. Yeah. That, in my opinion, the SEC and the Big Ten, the SEC and the Big Ten run the ball almost 100 to 150 times more a year than the Big 12. So
yeah, that's true.
And that's the way that they recruit against us. That is the 100% way they recruit against us. So, absolutely. It's the ability for people to use that against us is real, and they do it. So until we figure out how to counter that, and the only way you can counter that is with the action of actually showing it, I don't know how you I don't know how you recruit against it. I don't know how you walk out and recruit point in case Brecken Deacon seriously.
Yeah.
When they're being recruited by Texas and Oklahoma and Oregon and Miami and Alabama and Georgia and shit, and all those schools are committed to running the football, and they put out offensive linemen that are developed and skilled in doing that. So I think that's a huge part of this. They've proven in Boulder that they can do the skill position thing. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. I mean, I don't really think that there's a whole lot of fucking debate really on whether or not we can provide quality skill players for the NFL. I don't really think that that's debatable. And I don't think really that will be debatable moving forward. I mean, do you? I think
I'm with it.
As long as Prime's there and his coaching staff is there, I think that they will continue to excel in getting skill athletes in the door. Okay, now Coach Gerard, Gunner, and Coach Hang's jobs now are, and the general manager and everybody else, because they play parts in this because it's a business. Their job now is to convince guys in the vision, and then you've got to do it. Like you can't. I don't know how they can do another year or two with the discrepancies and run to pass the way they did. Like I would be eager to last year's just count how many passes in 12 games as opposed to how many runs. Like I would bet you it's probably 10-1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, the percentage is probably pretty close.
It's a lot. It's a lot to a little, dog. So with multiple new quarterbacks now, everybody except for the backup who's been there for 2 years, who obviously didn't think could start. You never know. I don't see how you don't change philosophies. I hope that Pat changes things up. I hope Marshall Faulk has real say. I hope Coach Gerard has real say. I hope they're not just there to be like ornaments on the tree. Like, oh, look, we got another shiny ornament on the tree, and he's an NFL player and a Hall of Famer, but we're not really leaning on him to do anything from a schematic standpoint. He's just here to like recruit. Right. And he's here to like get along with the players and talk shop when they come here and be like, oh my God, that's Marshall Faulk, or oh my God, that's Deion Sanders. Like that plays into it too. So name recognition is huge. So I pray to God that they actually allow these guys that they hired to do their jobs, because there's no more like, I'm very eager to see how Coach Prime coaches when he's not trying to win a football game and put his son on deck. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can't say that didn't happen.
No, I think definitely.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
because he's good enough for it. So I'm not hating, but I am saying that.
Yeah.
Like, think about the end of football games, like the end of North Dakota State, where they threw the ball like 6 times deep when they could have taken a knee. Like that. Yeah. What are we doing? Why are we stat padding right now for that? Like that's what I'm talking about. So
no, good point. Yeah.
I'd like to think that they are going to change things for the benefit of the group, and especially the support of the two quarterbacks.
Absolutely. And the whole reason I asked that is, we had Breck and Deacon on, and I listen to them go on DMVR and all these other shows, and just talk about it. And I'm seeing your kids, get like Syracuse offers and all kinds of offers coming in through 6 Zero Academy. And I wanted to get your take on that and really discuss. Colorado can bring a run game this season. I think it's going to help them tremendously when it comes to recruiting.
I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, let's talk some NBA here before we talk some more college football here. Matt, where are you at with your Nuggets here? Kind of a tough position for them, Matt. But where are you at with them? How are you feeling about your Denver Nuggets? Go ahead.
Well, look, congratulations to the Pacers closing out Cleveland. I think Indiana is pretty real. I'm looking forward to the potential of Pacers-Knicks. Those series were, take me back to high school days when, Reggie Miller in the Garden. So I can't wait for the history of that to get rehashed. In the Eastern side with Jason Tatum tearing his Achilles, so that's sucks.
Thanks, Tony.
On the Western side of things, Minnesota scares the shit out of me. Golden State's cooked. Oklahoma City and Denver are playing a good series. Denver's fucking blown the last 2 games. And it is driving me up a wall, bro. Like, they're wasting Nikola Jokic's prime with bums around him. Let's just be real. Like, Jamal Murray is an average player on a max contract. Michael Porter Jr. is a terrible player on a max contract. And I will say this, okay? I expect them to win Game 6 and go back to Oklahoma City for Game 7 and lose that game. I don't think they can win on the road in OKC. They did Game 1. I don't think they can do it again. If they don't go out and try and get a Durant or somebody like that in the offseason to actually pair next to Nikola, a real superstar, then they're not serious about trying to fucking win. It's very similar to the Colorado conversation. Like, if you're not going to go out and fortify the fronts which they have done with personnel, and they need to do with scheme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to go out and commit to this, then you're not really serious about trying to get everybody better. It's a 7-on-7 team.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it for 3 years in a row, you can't convince me that that's not what you are.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can tell me whatever you want, but I'm going to look at it like, okay, for 2 years I've sat here and heard we're going to run the ball, and then you don't do it. So I'm not a hater anymore for saying you don't do it anymore. Now there's like analytics and facts behind the fact that you won't do it and you're 7-on-7 team. So going full circle back to the Nuggets here, if you are not seriously trying to go out, and just think about all the players in the last 2 years that have changed teams, from Julius Randle to Karl Anthony Towns to Jimmy Butler. There's always a superstar moving, and they're never going to Denver. And they've got the best player in the world, supposedly. So, I love the NBA playoffs. They play a lot harder than they do in the regular season. Right when I say that, of course, the games are blowouts and like people don't give a shit. So there's a lot. Look, if Denver wasn't in it, I probably wouldn't watch it as hard as I do. But they're in a championship window, and I think they're kind of fucking it up. So
yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I'd love to see the Knicks in the finals just because. But Knicks Nuggets sounds good to me. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. And you're down and out with your Nuggets? You don't think they have a shot on JB show this morning?
I think they have a shot, bro. I mean, look, I think they'll win Game 6 at home, tie it up 3-3 to go back to OKC. They've been up the last 2 games by 10 points in the fourth quarter and blown it. They were up yesterday and blew it. So do I think they can win? Of course they can, but the lack of support is unbelievable to me. Like, again, Nikola went for 42 and 15 yesterday, and they lost. So until Michael Porter Jr. can get his head out of his ass, I don't know what they're supposed to do. He's a max player. If you're a max player, you need to act like one. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that.
I have a question on your Nuggets. How do you view Jokic? Is he the greatest big man of all time in your eyes, Matt?
No, Shaq's the best big man I've ever seen. Shaq and Kareem.
Even with all the numbers with Jokic, I'm just curious.
Yeah, look, I love Nikola. I do. I think he's incredible. I love the MVPs. He's the best Nuggets ever played. He's top 5 big men, in my opinion. I think when you talk about basketball players, I try and separate the 5 from 1 through 4. And even 1 through 3, because I think Tim Duncan's a big man. So,
yeah.
I think that Tim Duncan and Shaq and Kareem and Wilt and Bill Russell and, guys like that, I thought Dirk Nowitzki was a great, cut between a guy who could play the 3 and the 4. He was a really good player, but only got 1 title. Nikola's got to get more rings. If he doesn't get 2 or 3 more rings, he won't ever be on that list from an outside perspective, unless you're in Denver. If you're in Denver, he's always going to be on the list, but he's got to go win more. And that's honestly,
I agree.
This is another opportunity. Like, if he's really the best player in the world and they're really a team of destiny, they get through this and win these titles, because right now you're looking around the NBA and you've got to beat, let's just look at the best players. You got to beat Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Shane Gilgeous-Alexander, and Anthony Edwards. Well, those guys are good, but none of them have rings. You have a fucking ring and multiple MVPs. Go make sure that you get out of this. You get out of this fucking series and they win the title.
Damn, Matt, I got some breaking news here on the Colorado football front here. And this is an interesting one, kind of stemming on Coach Prime here. Coach Prime will star in a Netflix documentary called Primetime, releasing in 2026. It will consist of 3 60-minute episodes. I love it.
Let's go.
Yeah, more Pub and Boulder. I'm with it on Netflix. That's huge. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I'm cool with this. I mean, the more shine and the more eyes on, the better.
Mm-hmm.
It just helps with everything. It helps with recruiting. It helps with development. It helps with money. It helps everything. So, yeah, I'm with it. I think it's awesome. So whether he's on Prime or Netflix or TV or commercials, I mean, he is literally everywhere. So the camera's attracted to him and he's attracted to the camera, and it's a perfect marriage.
No, yeah, I mean it's good for business, Matt, as you know. And man, Netflix, Amazon, Netflix, man, Prime is everywhere. I'm with it here. I'm about to pull up the trailer here. Prime talking about it here, but this is breaking news here, and it's going to be a one-off. From what I understand, according to On3 Sports, it's going to be a one-off documentary or reality TV show. It's kind of unclear right now. It's unclear, but nonetheless, here's Coach Prime. Kind of promoting it here. Take a listen.
I heard a rumor. I ain't one for rumors, but I heard a rumor. Primetime is going primetime on Netflix in 2026. Oh, now give me my theme music.
I'm with it, Matt. I'm with it. And Prime bring the juice always, but I'm with that, Matt. I think good for business. I'll definitely be tuning in here, releasing the 2026 here. So at some point next year, I'm interested to see what they're going to cover and put in it here, Matt. Is it going to be this season, him coaching, last season, the draft process? What's going to be in the 3 60-minute episodes here? But nonetheless, breaking news, Matt. More Colorado Buffaloes news here. Man, Matt, let's move forward here. We're going to go cross sports here. We're going to go a little baseball here on 0 to 60, Matt. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred removed Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and other deceased players from Major League Baseball's permanently ineligible list. Manfred ruled that MLB's punishment of banned individuals ends upon their deaths. They are now presumably eligible for election into the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't know how I feel about this. Matt, I'm going to let you take it away.
Baseball.
Go ahead.
Here's how we feel about this, Bailey. Fuck baseball, dog. Like I'd said this to you. I don't really want to talk about baseball. I could give a Tiffany fuck about baseball, but this pisses me off. Like he just fucking died. I understand he was a scumbag and all these other and he bet on baseball, blah blah blah. But it's Charlie Hustle, for God's sakes. He's like you can't. He's on the Mount Rushmore of baseball players, probably. Like, come on. And what he did as a player, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, if you want to try and like say that he's like guys that took steroids, that's not right. He bet on it as a manager. Yeah, at least that's what we think. It doesn't matter anymore. Betting is everywhere. I made 2 bets last night. What the fuck? I'm not getting. I could still do my show today and go to work.
Yeah,
like Pete Rose got the short end of the stick, bro. And
yeah, that's true.
I think that baseball, if they ever want to evolve and actually get in the good graces of people again, and not just be something to go do because nothing else is on, because that's about when fucking basketball and hockey are over, they've got like that 6-week lull while it's just baseball, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't wait to go out. Well, I'm going to go outside now and actually like do something. Well, I'm not going to go watch a fucking baseball game. So this is just another circumstance where baseball has their head cemented in their ass. Just get this guy into the fucking Hall of Fame and get it over with. And you should have done it when he was alive. I mean, doing it right after he dies it's just a bad look.
Slap in the face, Matt.
It's a fucking bad look.
This Joe Jackson too. It's such a slap in the face, Matt.
Such a fucking bad look.
It's ironic with the Ohtani interpreter situation, the way that went down, and Pete Rose commenting on it. And like this is less than a year removed from that. Like I just think
it's not even a year.
Slap in the face, man. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I just get him, man. I don't know about Shoeless Joe because I'm not 117 fucking years old, but I know that Pete Rose is pretty good, and you should probably just get him in and stop fucking doing this. Baseball is just. There's a reason you're number 4 out of 4 sports, you schmucks.
Yeah, and I saw that news. I was not a big fan of it, Matt, and I share your same sentiment there. I think it's just a really big slap.
It's the whole like he just died and now you're doing it.
Yeah, like they didn't even waste no time. I was just like,
oh, he's dead now. Now we can put him in the Hall of Fame so he won't know. Ha ha ha. Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah. Chat is arguing. I can't even tell what chat's arguing about. The chat is arguing amongst themselves, Matt, but we're rolling here on 0 to 60, Matt. And I got to ask you this topic here. This is a huge topic that we always discuss here. Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. Bill Belichick was interviewed at ACC spring meetings and he says that Jordan Hudson has nothing to do with UNC football. Matt, take a listen.
I know that you're aware that your relationship with Jordan Hudson has been a headline over the last few months. And all of the specifics aside, because a lot has come out in the last couple of days, how do you think that that impacts your ability to coach this football team, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, that's, really off to the side. It's a personal relationship, and she doesn't have anything to do with UNC football. I'm excited to be back in the coaches' meetings and getting ready for, June, and then August when we get to training camp. So June will be a big recruiting month for us, and then August we'll start getting ready for the season.
Look at that fake smile. You know what's behind that smile? How dare you ask me this fucking question?
That's what I was gonna say. I was
Yeah,
shocked you even let him ask him. Like,
Dude,
what?
I never thought I'd see Bill Belichick this fucking pussy whip before. He's supposed to be hardcore, bro. Again, pussy's undefeated, so congratulations to everybody out there that didn't know that.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Bill Belichick is starting to look like a little bit of a clown to me, bro. Getting paraded around by your dick by a 24-year-old. I mean, I know she's hot and shit, but she's fucking cuckoo crazy.
He looks crazy,
He's
man.
fucking nuts, bro. Nuts. And I was wrong to probably praise him at the beginning of this, but I didn't know that he was, genuine. My whole life has changed. I'm so in love, so deep in love. Fuck Bill. So I can't, Bill should just look at her and go, are we really talking about this? Me getting some pussy is going to keep me from coaching well? What the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. I can't believe it's actually a topic of conversation that they're talking about still.
Yeah, he's getting asked this at spring meetings, and this the questions
Can you
about
imagine,
how
can you imagine if this was Coach Prime? Can you imagine if Coach Prime had a 24-year-old girlfriend that he was parading around Boulder, and she was she was going and reaching in his pocket and telling him what to say and what not to say?
Take the Shador backlash from the draft times 10, and that's what would happen. Because
holy hell!
Fun.
I just said, Bill, look, bro. I'm just going to say this. This is an adult show, so you're just going to have to deal with what I say next. But you don't pay a whore to fuck; you pay her to leave. And Bill, I'm telling you, bro, you have got to figure this out, because you're starting to look like a senile old man that's getting paraded around by your dick by a 24-year-old fucking floozy who seems to have control over the entire goddamn UNC football program, even though she's not involved with any of the UNC football program. Because if she controls your emotions and she controls how you feel about the day, I guess she controls the UNC football program. Look at that smile. Have you seen a more diabolical fucking smile than that one right there? Ugh. This is a bad situation. This is not going to end well, homie. I know you're upset about it.
I'm so pissed, bro. And I don't know if I showed you this. The story from, I think we talked about it. Pablo Torre saying things have gotten so messy. I don't know how this is.
Corn on the cob, slab on the cob.
The chat killing me. Shit. But as I was saying, Pablo Torre put out a story saying that things have gotten so messy between Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson, and UNC that there's an absolutely real chance Bill Belichick is not the head coach by the time week 1 rolls around. Matt, he's going
to get fired for getting some ass?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by this. It would really piss me off, but this is not a great look for Chapel Hill and the University of North Carolina at all.
Oh, this is a terrible look.
Yeah, so
the fucking athletic director's got to be sitting there I sure am glad we brought in Bill Belichick and his psycho 24-year-old girlfriend.
Psycho 24. Can't believe that's a real headline. This is where we're at. We ain't even talking about
for the guy who said in meetings for 25 straight years, but young women will get you in trouble. Don't go out and fucking party. Stay in your house, and nothing happened just before after midnight. That young snapper will come up and get you. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now what, Bill? Now you see why so many guys fall prey to this, and they're not 75 years old. I'm sorry that you were just fucking your playbook for 35 years while everybody else was out trying to get some actual ass.
Playbook.
But the minute that you got out of your playbook and stopped fucking that and started like actually viewing other people's genitalia, i.e. your 24-year-old girlfriend, you're like, wow, this is pretty nice. It's so nice that you're putting up with the psycho. So this is my point. It's undefeated.
Oh, it is undefeated, Matt. 100%. The bar is true. And as Andrew Nash says, and I'm with you, there has to be more to this. He's got to know something. He's not like, Matt, he's won how many Super Bowls? He's not this stupid. Like, what are we?
Like 10, dog.
Ah, man. And we're
But
not like,
Bailey,
this is.
Bailey. Again, it's undefeated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, we could sit here and go, but he's done this and this, and he's that and this, and he's done all these great things, but then bang,
Yeah.
that shit hits him in the face, and he forgets who he is, and he goes back to 24-year-old Bill Belichick the first time that he stuck his face in the old, the old chute, and he reverts, and he's like, and it's over. So, even Bill Belichick apparently has needs. I thought he was a fucking robot, but nope.
Something like that. Holy
shit!
They've really. I think the Tar Heels are going to be pretty good, Matt. They keep landing guys in the transfer portal. They took Boise State's linebacker transfer.
They're getting coached up.
Him. They got a kid from Oklahoma State that I know visited Colorado. Michael Lombardi's their GM. They got some pretty good coaches on that staff as well. Several NFL players, including
they're going to need them.
I'm excited for this, man. Fuck it. I'm all in. Bill Belichick, don't screw this up. Don't get fired. And I think they'll be just fine. I don't know.
Fucking Bill sticking his pen in Company Inc.
Yeah, definitely. Matt, before we get out of here, and to all those watching, I can't thank you enough for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe, become a member. I wanted to highlight some of your guys here at 6
Get to 1,000 today. Come on, get up there before we get out of here. What the fuck? I was talking to the people.
Oh, yeah. Folks, hit that like button. Become a member of the Dungeon family today. Matt, I wanted to highlight some of your guys here at 6-0 Academy. Offers have just been rolling in left and right all over the table here. Corbin Wade's got a couple of them on here, I believe. Got Nevada here. UC Davis as well.
Yep.
Shout out to him.
He just got Portland State today. Roper gets Colorado State, which is big time. That's his first one, so that's a huge opportunity. But our distance program, Jake gets his first offer. So that's fucking big time. One of our guys from down in Houston. So big Jake, JT, congratulate. His brother also plays at the next level. Nice, so I know his parents are pumped. Brody Seek, great pass rusher, got Kent State. He also got Air Force the other night.
Ooh,
so, that's fucking big time for Brody Seek. It's just, man, I love it when I see my guys blow up like this. Evan Hines got Fresno State. There's Brody's Air Force offer. So, there's Evan's Fresno offer. It's pretty cool to see. Oh, and Davis Moon, the freshman, just got Syracuse. So Davis is next up on that list. Nick going out and getting in the top 5 of the Under Armour camp was big time. He's got like 3 articles coming out next week about him. So I'd imagine something's going to happen for the big boy here pretty soon. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep myself together when that happens. I'm trying to fucking manage my own expectations. But this is why we do what we do, with Breck and Deacon negotiating big time deals and, the guys getting ranked for next year and having 4 of the top 5 players in the state in the gym and all the guys who get offered left and right and all the coaches that were in there this morning watching the guys work. And this is what we do at 6-0. So I don't care where you are in the country. I don't care where you live. The power of, Bailey and I have never even met each other face to face. We do a goddamn show every day, though. So there's no reason why you can't be in the distance program and get offered just like Jake just did.
Absolutely.
The opportunity for these kids to come in and work and actually earn it. That's really what I'm so proud of because it's been built on the backs of the foundation of the program and all the other guys that have come in and done it. So, they're the next ones. And 5 years from now, they'll be the veterans and there'll be another crop in trying to chase what they're doing. So it's pretty fucking cool, bro. And, sometimes I have to sit back and not be so hard on myself and actually just understand how many people that I've actually helped, and it's pretty cool. So
Definitely. And my takeaways from this one, when we have like Breck and Deacon and Zane D'Souza and all these guys on, and they talk about, all the hard work they put in at 6 Year Academy. They talk about their characteristics, their motivation, internal motivation stuff, getting motivation from Matt as well. And then you see it come full circle, it paying off, them getting offers and stuff. That's what it's all about right there. Put it in the work, putting in your time, and earning a scholarship because of it, man. That's my biggest takeaway from it.
Hey, why do people think that there's beef with Neely?
Yeah, what chat? Ranalytics keeps saying that. I think Ranalytics, you might be the only human being that said that. I'm
just trying to get us to say something about it. We said something. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't. Good question. Chat, for the last 5 minutes though, go ahead and drop your questions. Matt and I are going to do quick Q&A here. Really interact with the chat here. Shout out to all those who are tuning in. Joey B, Andrew Nash, Ranalytics has been in here. Lamar West, my man. Shout out to your son as well. Big man, definitely. Shout out to your son. But chat, let's do a Q&A here. Last 5 minutes before we get out of here on this fine, beautiful Wednesday here. Also hit that like button and subscribe and become a member of the Dungeon family if you're watching. Matt, you see, before we get a couple of these questions here in the chat, you see Theo, you know who Theo Vaughn is, the comedian?
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
You see him like choke somebody out here? I just saw this. I was like, you'd have to really piss Theo Vaughn, I think, like really piss him off to get him to do something like that. I don't know.
He choked somebody out?
Nah, but it was like some guys like fucking with them, and then he like goes back at him or something. Here, I'll show it here. But I was just like, man, you must really have to piss off Theo Vaughn here, because I'm like, that seemed like very happy-go-lucky type of human being. But here it is. This is you see the guy watch the guy with the balloons here. He goes up, starts fucking with him or something like that. So it's like, I don't know what he was doing, fuck with him. Theo looks like he tells him to back off or something, and Theo's like, "Fuck off, me, like."
Get the fuck out of my face with your goddamn big balloons. This isn't a prank show, bitch. This is what I'm talking. Like, I'm sure that this guy's trying to promote himself and what he's doing off of Theo and his fame.
Yeah, definitely.
The same. I'm not saying we're famous, but the same way that low rent motherfuckers come on here and try and get us to acknowledge them, that low rent motherfucker is on there trying to get him to acknowledge him. Period. So
definitely.
Dude, get your own fucking shine, and then you won't have to just suck off everyone else's.
You have such a way with words, Matt. Matt Ranalytic, he has a question for you, Matt. He says, Matt, if you had to call a game for the Buffs, what would your scheme be? Gap scheme, zone, air raid?
Both. Air raid is going to come off play action and moving the pocket, but gap scheme, zone scheme, just straight fucking forward power, moving people. I don't care what you want to call it. If you can't institute everything, you don't know how to run the football. So there's nobody that just runs pure gap and pure zone. Everybody does everything. So the ability to run the ball these days, the ability to throw it off play action actually allows you to run it more. So, I think you can be really, really good at both if you practice both and you actually know how to install both and coach both. But again, that's a big if.
Absolutely. Andrew Nash has a question. He says, Matt, what's it going to take for Colorado to progress this year and not regress?
Run the ball. That's it.
Well said.
Run the goddamn ball. Now, if you go out for the first 4 weeks and whomever the quarterback is going 30 completions and fucking 450 yards passing and 5 touchdowns, I'll shut the fuck up real fast. But that shit isn't going to happen. It's not happening. That's not Shedeur back there. Either one of these guys. They're good, but they're not Shedeur. So, And again, I don't think that Coach Prime will be motivated the same way. I don't think that he'll be thinking about it like, how do I make sure we win and Shedeur eats so he can be Shedeur? I don't think that that's going to be the main thing in his head anymore. I think now it's going to be all about the team. So it's going to, which one of these quarterbacks can step in and take almost a back seat to the running game if they can do it. Now, just because you have big people does not mean you can run the football. It takes a lot
That's
more
true.
than that. So
Yeah,
sometimes the bigger linemen are the easiest ones to beat because they're fat and slow.
yeah. You get
So
under-
let's not, don't everybody, I want you to understand, I don't want you to get too enamored with 6'7", 360. Like if you're 360 pounds and you're playing football, you better be Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're gonna look at you and go, hey, fat fuck, you having a hard time breathing? You having a hard time moving your feet? Well, that's because you're 360 pounds, you great big fat fuck. So that's just a fact. That's the way football players talk to each other. So don't sit
Heavy,
here and act
a lot of
hate
weight
it.
at 360. Like,
Yes, dog,
yeah.
that's a lot. And with pads and heat and everything else, that's not good. So, it's about developing the guys you have on campus, making sure there's good quality competition. None of this like feelings hurt competition where, oh, coach isn't playing me and I'm fucking going to get sad. Well, get sad, pussy. Like we don't care if you're fucking sad. You're going to have to ship out though. Sad boys ship. Sad boys ship out, bro. If you got to be tough enough mentally to be ready when they call your name because you're gonna play. They're not gonna have the same 5 starters all year. That's why they're going to get all these fucking dudes because
Exactly.
they know they don't have 5 starters. That's why they keep staying in the transfer portal. Oh, and by the way, it's smart to bring in as many offensive linemen and defensive linemen as humanly goddamn possible.
Can't have
Because
enough.
you never know when you're going to need them. Just look at the Philadelphia Eagles. I met with one of their scouts this morning, and all he was talking about was their philosophy and how to draft.
Mm.
And I'm just sitting there like, yep, these are facts. If you do not fucking take care of the offensive and defensive lines, you will not sustain success, period.
Definitely.
It takes a very, very special kind of skill player to be able to overcome, which is one of the reasons why I think Travis and Shador and those other skilled guys are so special. Like Shador pretty much just completely overcame the fact that he didn't need to throw the ball or run the ball at all. Like Cordell Stewart had a Heisman Trophy winning running back.
Yeah.
Darian Hagan had Eric Bieniemy and J.J. Flanagan and a great offensive line and an unbelievable scheme. Shador had Seaton as a rookie.
Yeah, it's true freshman.
Like you can't even name their fucking running backs anymore. They're all gone. So, yeah, there's my answer.
I got another question from Ranalytics, and I think I really want to hear your answer. Matt, if you had to make an all-time CU skill group, who would it be? 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, and 1 quarterback. Tough one.
Rashawn's the running back. Colorado Rashawn, not NFL Rashawn, unfortunately. And that's my boy. And it hurts me to say that, but still. Rashawn's the running back. Shador's the quarterback.
Ooh.
2 wide receivers are Westbrook and Hunter. And then my tight end's Dan Graham. Tight end's Dan Graham. My fullback's Brandon Drum.
Definitely. And there you have it. Great question, Ranalytics. Next question.
Why does everybody seem to think I have a problem with everyone? I don't have a problem with DNVR either. I just made fun of them once, and they got.
I don't know where that goes.
I made fun of them one time.
I remember that, but
years. If they want to stay butthurt over getting made fun of, I guess we weren't really friends.
yeah, that was kind of a joke. Like, guys, come on. Anyway, next question. How do we not start like
Friends make fun of friends? That's the way it works.
Yeah, exactly. Next question. How do we not start like we did against Nebraska and North Dakota State last year via Georgia Tech? We need to start well this year. Just seemed we were playing right guys or lack of cohesiveness early.
Okay, look, Georgia Tech is going to come in here with Odom, their head coach, who's an ex-player at Georgia Tech, an ex-offensive lineman, and try and beat the shit out of us up front.
Isn't Brett Key their coach? Or am I tripping?
Brett Key, excuse me, my bad. Who's an ex-player and an ex-offensive lineman. My bad.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bailey.
Yeah.
Look, they are going to walk in with their run-first system. And I've been watching a ton of Georgia Tech tape because we're trying to institute that over at Vista this year because we got a quarterback that can really run it and throw it. Replacing Majewski. So we're to what the film, there's a ton of misdirection, there's a ton of pulling, a ton of trapping, a ton of vertical run game and play action based off of it. And it's a pain in the ass. and it's hard to get ready for in the first game. Last year, I watched them go to Ireland and beat Florida State. So this is a tough game, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a tough ass game, and good. Let's fucking get it done. Going to Atlanta the next year, that's a great game to go to Atlanta and get in Georgia and promote the product.
Definitely.
I think that it's a tough game, but a winnable one. You would think that CU will be favored at home to win that football game. But again, they're going to limit the opportunities you get offensively just because they control the fucking ball so much. So it could be the shortest football game on earth if both teams just decide to run the shit out of the ball. But I mean, we'll see. If we don't take Georgia Tech seriously, though, they'll beat the fuck out of us.
Yeah.
Just take them seriously or they will crush us.
And they're coming in ready. Yeah, I mean, they're going to come in.
And like this game also has a little bit of historical preference because they haven't played since 1990 when good old Tom Osborne was the only goddamn coach in the country after losing to Colorado to vote for Georgia Tech number 1, which gave 99 votes to the Buffs and 1 vote to Georgia Tech, which in turn split the national title. Thanks a lot, Tom. And you wonder why we hate them so much. But it's a little bit of a playoff too for that. So there's always some history in college football you can look back on.
Definitely. And one of our last questions, Matt, what music did you listen to during pregame?
Fast and Violent, bro.
I love
as much Zombie and Deftones and shit like that as you can feed me.
Absolutely. Final question before we get out of here, folks. I can't thank you enough for tuning in. Bucky's Ducktail, love the username. He says, "What do you think Travis Hunter's stats will be rookie year, and on offense or defense? Because I mean, it can be both." But Matt, go ahead.
I think he's going to be the dual rookie of the year.
Whoa! Like seriously, on both sides. Shit.
I think he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year at the same time.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like Liam Cohen, they're all in on trying to really maximize them both ways here. So I'm not going to say you can't. Like, I'm with it. Like, let's go, Travis.
And I'm sure that the NFL will ride that too. Like, they're not going to run from that shit. They're going to understand that they have a superstar in Jacksonville, which they've been dying for forever. They thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be that guy as the number 1 pick. He ain't. So, if Travis Hunter can go down there and pretty much revive that fucking franchise, then cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, they're going to be the London Jaguars here before you know it.
The London Jaguars. Man, I can't wait to see Travis. The
London Jags.
The London Jags, man. We're going to have an international team. Matt, schedule releases today. How do you feel about the NFL playing across the world? I mean, I think they have 7 or 8 international games, several different countries across the world. How do you feel about the NFL traveling abroad and playing all these games, Matt?
I think it's a lot of travel, bro. But I don't have a problem with it. You're not taking a fucking sailboat. We're not riding horses. This isn't the Oregon Trail. You're not going to die of dysentery. So get on your first class flight, take your Ambien, shut the fuck up, and go play a football game. I don't have necessarily. Look, they're expanding the schedule to do shit like this, and they're going to expand it one more time to keep doing shit like this. So I don't have a problem with it. It gives you a good if you want to go to Broncos, Jets. Those are 2 teams I played for in London. That would be a pretty cool fucking game to go to. Go to London, go see a game, eat some fish and chips, shitty weather, bad food, fucking London. It's other than that, I don't know. I mean, it seems to me there's 2 ways to think about it. Cool, we've got an international game, and then the other part is, you mean to tell me there's a game on? There's my answer at 7 o'clock in the morning or at 11 o'clock at night because I didn't fucking know that they're playing in Brazil and or Frankfurt or some shit, and I have to wake up at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning to watch the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
just accommodating to the fucking Europeans even more here. So I think we should give them the shittiest games humanly possible. Which looks like we did. Those games suck. So
I mean, Vikings, Steelers.
The Vikings get fucked. They have to go twice. That sucks.
Yeah, the Vikings. That back-to-back weeks too. Oh,
They have to go to Europe back-to-back times.
So they play in Dublin on the 28th against the Steelers, and then on the October 5th, that next week, they play against the Browns in London.
Oh, so they're just the fucking Minnesota. They're the European Vikings.
European Vikings.
They're the Norway Vikings now.
Yep.
That's nice.
And then on October 12th, day after my birthday, your two teams, Broncos and Jets, face off in London, Matt. So there you go. Yeah, I'm with it. I don't know how I feel about some of these other games. I don't know. Definitely we'll discuss and cover more as we get closer to the season. Matt, I have to bring this up. This is a question. This is a question for Ranalytics, Matt, and I know the answer. I think I know the answer. I don't know the other person's playing background, but I know you. You versus Neely.
What? Why are Neely and I at each other's necks? Like Neely's like 10 years older than me, dog. He doesn't want to do Oklahoma drill, and neither do I. But if we did it, I would win. But still, no one wants to do that. Trust me.
Yeah, definitely. Just had to get your take on it, Matt. But folks, this has been a great show here on this beautiful Wednesday. We talked all things Colorado Buffaloes football recruiting as they signed Andre Roy Jr. from Maryland. Coach Prime's got a new show here coming out on Netflix. That was breaking news that we discussed. Also discussed the Pete Rose and MLB news. Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. Bill Belichick responding to all the heat he's getting for his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. Please don't fuck this up. One season with them at UNC. Don't fuck this up.
Big, please.
We also discussed that, Matt's Nuggets, and so much more. Folks, if you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family today. I'll be live tomorrow on my show, talking all things college football and NFL news. And Matt, we'll be back on Friday here on 0 to 60. Matt, any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Nah, man, just, enjoy your Wednesday and see you guys Friday. Good shit.
Enjoy your Wednesday. See you guys Friday. Thank you for watching.